Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and as you can see behind me, we're gonna get our wither skeleton spawn on and make EMC a breeze. So we're back at this again, and I think we have quite a bit. This has been processing for quite a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all of my iron that I've gathered up. Also, I've also prepared to be able to upgrade these bad boys. I'm starting to work on dark iron here. I believe it's, dark steel ingots, I mean. And we need to actually get these guys working. So we need to actually start crafting with this stuff. Now, the crafting core is actually not too difficult to craft, to be honest. A little bit of glowstone, a little bit of this stuff, and you have some of this luminescence. Now, we don't really need too much luminescence, as we do need mostly diamonds and these black slates. And I think I calculated each one of these require 4 black slates, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8. So 16, and then it'd be what? Oh, actually, these are just by themselves. It's only this one that requires the 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So we only need 13 of these to be able to fully craft this. If I remember correctly, we need a lot of iron blocks, though. We're gonna be, or a lot of these iron blocks here in a second. And this is just gonna require some diamond. So 3, 4, I think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's only 10 that we need of this. Or at least that should be. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to make all of those. And then we need the elite. And we're still left with 1. So yeah, I just missed 1, basically. So 2 more diamond, and we're good to go. Awesome. So the crafting for this, not as difficult as it might look. You just kind of have to make your way to it. All right, so let's go ahead and fill this back up. And yeah, let's go ahead and work on the core here. We are going to need another frame. So actually, I do need another one just as a spare. And let's go ahead and make some blocks. Now I need 44 blocks and some glass. And I hope I have made glass. I did. Okay, so we're good with glass. And I just need to basically craft 44 of these up. Looks like we barely have enough here. I'm still working on the podium, so we're going to be able to get the podium done. We do have some more cooking down there. Let's come back up here, and let's get this thing built. Whoa! I have no idea where that guy came from. Nothing should be spawning up here. Oh, they spawn on top of this. Ah, that's right. That's what happened there. So yeah, 44 of these. I mean, I absolutely love the crafting, watching the crafting happen for these. I don't know about you guys. Building it, it's okay. You know, it's a process, but my favorite part is probably putting the middle in. But watching this thing get made tiny is absolutely hilarious. Let's go ahead and do this. And make sure we don't get trapped in here. Break that. Awesome. And last but not least, we just throw one of these guys in. I think. Oh, we didn't fill the top. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Like, why won't this work? Now. There we go. Oh, that's such a cool animation that happens. And voila. We have something that required a lot of work to make. No joke. Lots of work to make this thing. We still need more coal, it looks like, in order to produce a few more. We might have enough. We might have enough to complete everything that I want to get done today. I don't know. Actually, no. We're going to need more coal. So, coal here. Let's go ahead and grab 2 just for this. I've had to do a lot of this, by the way. Also, processing everything to upgrade these the sag mill through Ender.io always tends to take a bit of time. So there we go. And we'll just get these in. We should still be good with power. This thing is working fantastic, by the way. That power generation is wonderful. So next is just finishing up the rest of our crafting thing here. And we have a crafting core. Now, I don't know if the crafting core is buried deeper down in here. I haven't really seen anything for it. Now, the crafting pedestals, we are going to have to make those. As you can see, though, we are missing a little bit of the iron. Hopefully we have enough here to make 4 pedestals. It's all we need is 4 pedestals. And it kind of goes like this, I believe, which gets 2. So we only need 2 more iron, 2 more of these. And we have everything we need. Oh my gosh, guys. Ah, I'm ready. So ready for this. This will help us get EMC at a phenomenal rate. And will make my life way easier. So, we have this bad boy set up. I guess what we can do is, I mean, I could probably utilize an area over here. I want to take the lasers, though. And I need to get a laser on this guy. And I think it's just on the bottom that this needs a laser. So, I guess right here, I could probably set this up right here for right now. And the pedestals, I think they go one away in all directions, like this. And so underneath this block, I should be able to slap a laser onto. I think we got a spare one laying around. We do. Yeah, we can grab 2. We can do, like, specifically 1 for this one. This is going to need some power, so let's laser this up. That's going to feed up with some power. It says no recipe found just yet, but we're going to fix that. We need manulin, so I went ahead and made up some manulin here. And then we still have our draconium over here, draconium dust. We are, however, going to need more than just 4 draconium dust, as it takes 4 draconium dust. I don't know if this accepts 1 at a time. It does. Okay, good. So 4 draconium dust. And then in the middle is this. It's saying no recipe found. Do I have to right-click this on here? Take a look at our draconium dust here. I may be misinterpreting this. So items required. 4 and a piece of manulin equal draconium. I'm hoping the pedestals are in the correct location. And we should have enough. It's recognized the pedestals. Manulin? No recipe found. So I almost think that this is going to work. I haven't tested it yet, but I placed that. Ah. That works. And it doesn't actually use an internal thing. We just click it off the top. And we have a draconium ingot. How sick is that? Alright, so that means we're going to need 3 dragon eggs then for this. And they're going to have to be crushed up. 3 dragon eggs, guys, and then we are going to be able to make ourselves a spawner. Now, quartz, almost forgot. We need a bit of this to actually go in here, because that's how we're going to make our soul vial. So if I throw the quartz in here, we should start to get some glass while we wait. Look at that draconium there. So, let's retry this again. So one of these on each pedestal, then it's going to do a craft. Ah. And with an empty hand, we can pull it out and we get our draconium ingots. Kind of cool, actually. I've never used this sort of crafting grid, but it's very similar to this. Very, very similar. Looky there. Eventually, we're going to have all this stuff. Once we get our cabling and stuff ready to go, which EMC is going to help with, all of this stuff is going to be organized in a nice, neat fashion. But for right now, we're in it just to fly straight towards getting ourselves exactly what we need, which is a spawner. And we need to be very careful where we place the spawner as well. So, is this not... Yeah, this is going to cook it up. It's just really slow, I believe, for producing this glass. Of course, this guy is why we are going to be upgrading anyways. I already have the industrial dye blend, and I already have the 2 chassis that I went ahead and made. And we're going to use those to upgrade these guys. But it's also going to require some other steps that I might as well get done here. So iron, I believe it's going to be 4 iron. That's what I would assume for our next step and when we go to upgrade this. So these dark bimetal needs infinity here. And yeah, it's going to require 4 ingots worth to cover up the grains of infinity. So we can go, I guess 4 and then do 8. So yeah, we could probably just split this up into 16. That's going to get us 8, and that's going to be probably good enough. That'll get us 4. So grains of infinity, we can do 4 of those. And what I need to do over here is make sure this is off, so it's not draining. Make sure all 16 iron goes in there, and we'll just split this. We'll take our casts out, and we'll do grains of infinity here and here. Make sure to put our casts up. And when we're ready, when all the iron is melted in there, we'll just turn it on, and that will cast our gears. That'll help us get our bimetal. And of course, we're also going to do some dark. So there's our fused quartz. Guys, literally everything is about to happen that is going to help us progress and get tons of EMC. So we need a broken spawner, just one. I ended up finding another one in that same area. So we have our broken blaze spawner, which is great. And I think we're still going to utilize this. We're just going to change the way it functions. We're actually going to change the top up there. So broken spawner. And we're also going to need the draconium that we ended up making. I believe we need some gold. And some diamond. Because to make this needs gold and a diamond. And that's exactly what we're to make. Let's go ahead and make the draconium core. We take the core and we combine it with the broken spawner, and that's going to get us a stabilized spawner. Now, it's a blaze spawner, though, I believe. You know, we might be able to change this beforehand. I think these need to be changed in a soul binder beforehand. Or, what we could do is we could do a spawner changer as well. This is going to require us to progress just a little bit deeper. Actually, this might be a better choice instead of upgrading some of our other machines right now, is to get a soul binder. Because that's going to be the only other way to change this into a wither skeleton farm. And that's going to be what I'm going to actually want. So, some solarium, we can make that. I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff all ready to go. And we'll get ourselves a soul binder. So I've sort of ran into just a little bit of a predicament. I got this soul binder made, but I needed to make a capacitor. So, good old-fashioned capacitors, which you'd think would be normal, but we're going to run into a little bit of issue. We need to make ourselves an ender crafting, another thing from extended crafting. Except for this time, it's a lot easier. So ender, literally ender ingots are just literally ender pearls converted into ingots. That's super simple, right? So we have that processing over here, and I think we already have enough. I'm just making like extra of pretty much everything just in case we need it later on. So for this, just some wood, just some simple wood, because we're going to need a crafting table for this, and I think it will work with any crafting table. I don't know if it specifically has to be this one. Yeah, it can be any. And then Eyes of Ender, which that should be pretty straightforward. We do have a bunch of blaze powder at this point. So Ender, and there we go. And I think each of the pedestals are going to require some Eyes of Ender as well, so I might need to prepare for that. But let's go ahead and make this first. So here's our Ender crafter, pretty simple. And then these guys make the crafting faster. So Ender, let's do 4 of them for right now. That shouldn't be too bad, at least for time. And you may get 2 of them a piece, so might as well do that. Let's go ahead and get our eyes first. Perfect, and voila. That'll give us 6. I'm sure we have more over here, so we can make this a little bit neater. There we go, and voila. 8. Alright, so this guy, you know, it doesn't really matter. These guys can go, like, right up next to it, like this, I believe. I don't think it has to face them, per se. Actually, we have enough. We can just surround the whole thing. And yeah, as we go to craft, these guys will help speed this up. So, in order to make a capacitor, should be, yeah, some grains of infinity, copper, and gold nuggets, as always. So, gold, copper, and grains of infinity, 2 of those. I think we're able to shift this in. We are. And as you can see, it's going to start producing some ender particles. And this right here, I mean, because we're shooting in the direction we're going, it's going to take a little, you know, we're kind of going off course probably than what is intended, as we're rushing for a very specific way to generate EMC. In which I think is going to be a pretty good way to generate EMC even up till late game. Just wither skeleton skulls are going to be so easy to obtain with a beheading sword, or even shurikens, whatever I decide I'm going to go with. It's just going to be super, super simple to get those things set up later on. So, now they have all this done. I can't wait to actually get a crafting storage set up as well. That's going to be super, super good as well. So we need our soul vial while we're here. We might as well make that. So a soul vial is, of course, going to be 3 of these. And we should be able to do this. So we could have gone with a spawner changer. That would have been a little bit harder, right? Let's go soul vial. Soul vial. Oh, it's going to require solarium. Okay. That's fine as well. I believe we have an extra piece. So solarium. What we need to do is go to the end. Or go back to the nether, not end. This is done, so that should be ready to go. And we'll give that there so this guy can build up with power. This is how we're going to change exactly what our spawner is. So I'm going to meet you guys over here, and I'm going to head back into my the nether fortress, I guess you could say. And we're going to pick ourselves up one of those guys. So I'm actually going to go for one of these funny guys. Oh boy. Look how we're losing our health so quick. And I didn't bring any food. So, let's hurry up and head back down here real quick before we just get completely destroyed. I will grab you. And I'm gonna head back. Woo! Let's get out of this place before we get completely destroyed. So now that we're back, we should be able to take our spawner. And we're going to change this thing. So we'll place the spawner in here, place the Wither Skeleton Soul Binder there, give it some experience, and just let this thing go. It's going to take a while. We are using a basic capacitor. We're using pretty slow power gen for it as well. So, I mean, it's only going to go as fast as our power is able to be provided to. Actually, now that I think about it, I would say break this, and I was going to maybe use this to power it, but I think I might be able to get lasers over here. That could work by breaking the lasers that are currently over there and utilizing them over here for now. That might actually speed this along. This actually seems to be working. We do have our power just running all the way over here to this soul binder. I should have actually placed it closer and done it over there. That would have worked, but you can see the progress going a little bit as it requires a lot of power to do this. And we're doing it off of a little bit of power. But the reward is going to be so good. While I'm working on this, I'm going to go ahead and start modifying my spawner up here. And we're going to get this thing ready for our Wither Skeleton farm. So this guy should be done. And it is now a Wither Skeleton one. Oh man, and we can combine it with this Draconic Core. Take a look at, actually, what is upgrading the Draconic Core? I don't think upgrading this is too bad to make it a Wyvern. I think it's just killing a, yeah, killing. So later on, we'll probably make another one of these and we'll upgrade it. But for right now, this is going to be perfectly fine. We'll get a stabilized mob spawner that is going to work just perfectly fine. So I do have this kind of set up, and it's kind of based off of the normal setup. I was debating whether or not to use water or go with the vector plates. We're going to see how this functions first. I will, however, place this above just in case, so nothing will bother it. But this should spawn them in at a pretty decent pace. This is what I'm concerned about, is them kind of getting stuck. So that's why I'm thinking water might be better. Plus, we won't have any other mobs spawning in here. So, let's try water, actually. That might work. So we'll replace these. Place water here. We'll just basically place water in all 4 corners. And that will make them definitely go directly towards the center and fall in. Look at that. Perfect. And of course they're going to take damage. But yeah, this guy should generate quite a bit for us. Especially when I close it off. Of course, it's going to work very similar to a normal mob spawner, I believe. In which we do need to be sort of around it, I think, for it to function. Let me kind of get away from it and see. Does it actually shut off? Or is it always on? It does seem to be always on. So, it doesn't exactly seem to function like... Okay, right about there, it does seem to kind of shut off. I don't know if these stay constantly running all the time. But we do, like most mob spawners, need to close this off. Because it does, however, need to be dark. I think. So, this should spawn some withers. Now, we don't want this thing killing them. Because we need to kill them, right? Let's replace that. Let's finish all this up. Of course, this collected a lot of stuff. And we kind of need to go at this guy. And these guys are going to drop heads for us. And this head is worth 46,000 EMC. This head alone is worth more than me farming several other types of mobs. So I could care less if this is generating a smaller amount. But boy, is it generating a lot more EMC. So let me kind of get most of my other things out of here. All of this stuff can kind of come out. We're also going to have to clear this. I'm just going to let this go as its own thing. But man, yeah, this is a way better system for EMC. Even though it did take us a little bit to get to it. So if you're doing a little bit of thinking, I think I can come up with an even faster system than this that can kind of bypass this altogether if you have the patience. So, we have this pick here. It's great. It's perfectly fine. But we need an abundance of food, and which we have, and we're going to need just some time on our hands, and we're also going to need a bunch of sharpening kits. I probably am underestimating how many sharpening kits we're going to need. But of course, we can always come back. What my plan is for the end of this episode, is to make a mob farm in the Nether after destroying an entire Nether fortress. And see what we can come up with that. It's going to be quite interesting. So, right here where I put the cobblestone is where I'm going to call it the center of the fortress. And you can see there's blazes all over the place, so I went ahead and made some potions to hopefully help with that. But the process is going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to be mining out huge sections of this. Now, I was thinking about different ways that I could do this, but I think our ore excavation is honestly probably going to be the fastest way to do this. Yeah, but like I said, this is going to break often, so we're going to make sure we have to have all the stuff to repair it. And yeah, we're just going to have to ore excavate until we get most of these places done. And it'll also level up our pick significantly as well. And if we level up our pick enough, at some point, we'll be able to make this pick unbreakable. Then we won't even have to worry about repairing it. So hopefully we can get enough levels. But I want to get rid of the main sections here. And that's going to probably take the longest amount of time. So as you can see, I've been working just a little bit. And I have officially ran out of my stack of sharpening kits. My level is now master on here. And we have 4 modifiers. So 1 more modifier slot. And we have an unbreakable pick. At least I think so. I don't know if the modifiers are changed or more expensive. But as you can see, I mostly just have these pedestals here that are just sort of left over. And I think we can easily get rid of those with other means. But I really wanted to get rid of the main spawning platforms, and I'm not so much worried about the fence post, as mobs don't spawn on those. But this is pretty much all that's left, is this right here. And that's it for bridges. So, what to do after we remove all the spawning spaces? Well, that's where things are going to get a bit more complicated. But I definitely want to remove all the spawning spaces from here. And there's a couple different ways. I can chop these all the way down, which just seems impractical. Or I can cover all of these with slabs. And I think that seems a bit more reasonable. As it does seem like a large area, but I think covering this in slabs would be a lot more efficient. So, you may think I'm insane for doing this, but, well, I guess you're right. I am quite insane for doing this. This took me about 2 hours, and I would have to say it's actually not, it wasn't that hard to do. So, what we have to do next is to build a spawner that should be functional. That's actually going to be a little bit harder than you might think. But that's the next step for this, is to build a spawner that is going to be functional and is hopefully going to work with blazes. And I'm thinking about just making a tunnel that is going to push the mobs through, and it's going to land basically in like a little 3x3 area. And then from that 3x3 area, we might just use hoppers and things to kill the mobs. This might actually be a really, really great way to generate EMC. So far, I'm going with the plain Jane old simple design, you know, one that's the tried and true. I already see a couple problems like bat spawning, but I feel like, you know, overall, that's not going to be a huge deal. I really hope this works, though. We need to be about 25 blocks away. I feel these vector plates are probably going to be pretty slow. Eventually, I'll probably upgrade to the next tier. I don't want to go too fast on them. But we need a dropping chamber that's going to drop mobs down a little bit. And that's going to be 22 blocks away from here. That's on average. It's probably to keep our pigmen safe. But if we want to automate it later on, we're going to be able to change this ourselves. And I'm still going to go with this white color wood. I really like this. And I'm going to change this partway down and go to nether brick, because I'm afraid that if I go too far, it might catch on fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And we got to account for the block up there, which is 20. And we'll do 21, 22. And that way, any mobs that spawn, of course, you already see there's mobs spawning. Oh boy. Let me take care of this guy real quick. That's so fun to do. So yeah, we already have mobs spawning. The probably best way to fix that, which it looks like a lot of just pigmen. And no wither skeletons, surprisingly. I'm almost wondering why no wither skeletons are spawning. That was a bat, by the way. And I'm hoping that it's because I didn't place this too low, I don't think. This should work. I don't know if there's a height limit on them. But anyways, I need to cap this off. And also need to kind of create a little chamber down here for our mobs. So to do that, I'm probably just going to stop these guys where they're at for now. And our platform should be down here, at least for our sake. And I mean, I needed another farm anyways. It's always nice to have options. What we can do is put a slab here and have these guys fall into, I don't know, this guy here, 2 of these guys, and just use hoppers. Use hoppers like this, and then put a slab here. And that should hopefully prevent mobs from seeing us. I'm hoping that, like, these slabs are not going to burn. So yeah, mobs landing on here should not see us at all. But boy, you hear this, you even hear magma slime in there. That's interesting. And I feel like my hoppers are off a bit. They are totally off. Let's go ahead and move this set back. And this will go here. And we'll continue our hoppers into the back. Oh, he was about to shoot. That's another thing we're going to have to solve, is we need to make sure our area is closed in. Otherwise, we will have gas shooting us. But for the most part, this seems like it's going to work. Let's clean this up. And this. Nice. So we have a bunch of pigment, right? That's technically gold. I don't see any withers. So I'm kind of confused why wither skeletons are not spawning. Very interesting. And very confusing, actually, for me. Why we're not getting what I think we should be getting. Maybe you guys let me know in the comments. Maybe there's a way I can fix this. So, after noticing something, I don't think this farm is so bad after all. Because if you notice, pretty much every pig that I'm killing, not only to mention is it leveling up my sword, but just about every in the bats I thought were going to be a problem, but they're not. I thought that this was going to be a lot worse. I'm so surprised that blaze are not spawning, but I feel that if we would have built this over a section that was actually a part of the fortress, it would work. I have a feeling the only reason this is not spawning wither skeletons and such is because we're in a void area that did not actually have a structure in it. And I think we just chose just the wrong parts. So I have that feeling. But this is not all bad. Because right here we have the equivalent to one wither skeleton skull. Guys, please. It's too good. It's too good. So yeah, this farm didn't work in this instance, but I think I'm going to work on one later on that might potentially work. But still, the one back at our base works just fine. It's just a little bit more time consuming. As you can see, we already have tons of EMC. That's from the one at our base. So this is a great farm. Don't get me wrong. It's great. It would have been a great early game farm, even though I don't see how you would get this early game. But still, this will be a pretty... I might actually turn this into like a community mob farm here. I think this would be a pretty great community mob farm. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode where we learned a little bit about mob spawning and farms. And I think I'm going to work on the other mob farm a little bit, and hopefully next episode I can find a solution. Because I believe wither skeletons should spawn there. At least I think so. And also blazes. And we noticed blazes were not spawning. So, anyways... At least I have the amazing farm that's behind me, and it's only going to increase from there. Guys, I really do appreciate you guys being here and watching these videos, and also being so kind in the comments. I really do appreciate it. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed already, I highly recommend doing so. Also, join the Discord. We have an amazing Discord community over there. You can find the links all down below. Also, I do live stream over on Twitch. So, if you want to find me there, you guys know how to find that down in the description below as well. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. As always, thanks for watching.